Hello everyone, this is Mr. Ho. This is not a recorded lecture. It is a video lesson on the topic of alternating current. Because this is not a recorded lecture, I will be customizing some of the parts that I am presenting today. First, there are two purposes to this lesson. One, lesson is for those who have missed my lecture. And two, I presume that some of you will be interested in relearning or looking through some of these content topics after visiting my lesson and after doing the tutorials. So for that purpose, there will be no jokes during this lecture. Everything I will try to make it as concise as possible so that you can learn it in as short a time and revise the main points in as short a time as possible. So without further ado, let's begin. This AC is an idea championed by Nikola Tesla. He invented this concept during the late 1800s, right? So he also invented all this, right? And he was a giant in the science community. There are many learning outcomes as provided in the notes, and I'm grouped this into three main parts. The first part is the introduction to what AC is. The second part is on what is root mean square current and how to use it for different cases like square waves and sine waves. And the last part is on transformers. In this lecture, I will be covering the first part. In this video, I'll be covering the first part. So in the first part, I will separate it into number one, introduction, and number two, the terms and the waveform. What is a DC? A DC is one where the direction of the current is only in one way, one direction. The magnitude may vary, but the direction must never reverse. So if you look at the one on the left, this is the current that we are very comfortable with. Right? This is obviously a direct current. The one on the right, maybe we are a bit less familiar with it, but it is still a direct current. Why? Because the direction of the current has not changed. It is a current that goes from 1 ampere to 0.8 to 1.2 to 0.8 to 1.2, but it will never become negative. Hence, this is a direct current. And AC, however, you can see that the direction will actually change. The current will actually become negative in value. The two most common waveforms are, number one, the sinusoidal alternating current, and number two, the square waveforms. Let's now talk about the terms and waveform for especially the sinusoidal alternating current. Here you see a waveform, and by now you should be quite comfortable with what you're seeing. This is obviously a sine curve, and the maximum value is given by I naught. The equation of this curve will be given by I equals to I naught sine omega t, where I is the current at any point on time, t is the time, and omega is the angular frequency given by 2 pi f. Here is an illustration of what alternating current will look like. When the current is initially 0, here, there is no current in the circuit. Ammeter here will read 0. When the AC source starts to provide a current, this current starts to rise, you'll see this current within the circuit. If the current continues rising, you see the arrows becoming thicker. You're here of the waveform. If it continues again, you can see the arrows now becomes maximum. You're here on the wave. Thereafter, it does not go down to 0. It goes down in terms of magnitude, but stays in the same direction. Goes down in magnitude once more, but stays in the same direction. Goes down to 0. Now, the AC source will switch direction and start to increase the magnitude. Notice now that the current is going in the anti-clockwise manner. Magnitude increases, Magnitude increases some more. Magnitude becomes highest. Once again, it starts to reduce in magnitude but stays in the same direction. Reduces in magnitude some more, but stays in the same direction, and finally goes back to 0. This is an AC. Now, there are some terms that you need to learn. Some of them are pretty familiar to you right now, by now. First would be the period, which is given by T. Next, frequency is given by 1 over T. Angular frequency, omega, is given by 2 pi f. Peak current, I naught. Next is the peak-to-peak current, I peak to peak. The only term that probably is new to you will be the peak-to-peak current. The rest should be quite comfortable. Right, so I finished the first part. In the next video, I will cover the bulk of the topic on AC, which is on the root mean square current. Thank you for listening.